Hi, and welcome to Mad Book Love. My name is Donna, and this is my very first YouTube video on this channel. I was going to do the Booktube tag video, but then I decided not to, and I just kind of wanted to wing it and see what would happen. So, I guess let's just get started. Who am I and why I started this channel? So I've been an avid reader for about 3 years or more. I think more than 3 years now. And I did read when I was younger. I read a little bit of fiction, but most of the stuff that I read was like autobiographies, um, a little self-help, wisdom type of books, and some educational books. So that's kind of what I read when I was younger. Now I'm fully fiction. That's all I read, and it's been a little over 3 years. I'm probably reading about I want to say I'm reading about 100 books a year, except for the very first year I read like over 200 books. I have been doing over 200, or over 100 now per year, but at least that's what my goal is on Goodreads. But sometimes I've been going over that, but not by much. I know that sounds like a crazy amount of books to read, but I've been just enjoying books. I don't even watch TV. I don't even listen to the radio anymore. And a lot of it's because I consume books by audio or Kindle. Um, Mostly audio, just because I'm busy a lot, so it's very easy to just throw on the audio while I'm running my errands, cleaning the house, in my car. I just don't have the time a lot to sit down and actually physically read a book. But I do love reading physical books. But I also I used to read one on my Kindle and then listen to one, so I'd be reading two books at the same time, which I don't do anymore. I listen to one book at a time. I found that sometimes I just don't consume and remember the book as well, or I'll get confused, and especially if the books are kind of similar, then I'll think like, oh my god, like, did that happen in that book or this book? You know what I mean? So I don't even I don't even do that. I read one book at a time. Um, so why did I start this channel? I started this channel mainly because I don't have a lot of friends that read like I do. I don't have any friends that read as much as I do. Um, I have a couple friends that read, but they're not consuming as many books as I do. And they don't also read all of the type of books that I read. So that's another reason. And I really want to meet people and talk about the books that I love, and I hope people that decide to subscribe to my channel or anything like that, like they like the stuff that I like, you know. So that's kind of the reason. Another reason is I was on Instagram and TikTok, and I kind of didn't like those platforms for myself. I really do think that YouTube is the better platform for me. I like that I can make a video as long or as short as I want. I have time to talk about the book, whereas like I do my monthly wrap up on Instagram, and it'd be like 5 videos long, you know what I mean? And then that's me rushing through what I want to say, and not even really getting to talk about what I want to talk about. So that's kind of where I was at with Instagram. With TikTok, it was a little different because it is longer and you have a longer time, but like I I don't know. I just didn't really care for those platforms, so that's why I decided to make the YouTube thing. Um, but yeah, so that is who I am and why I started this channel. So what type of reader am I? I am mainly fiction, like I said earlier in my video. Um, but I mainly have been reading romance, which is kind of, I read romance, but I dabble in thriller and fantasy as well, or romantasy. I'm not really sure. I um I want to dabble into like more genres. I kind of want to get into the horror genre, but I'm not really sure if I'm gonna like it or not. I feel like I read a Stephen King book once, but I can't remember. It was so long because I'm old. I'm not gonna tell you my age though. But anyway, so mainly my main is romance, but I do like romantic suspense, I think, or thriller romance or whatever. I kind of like stuff like that. And I really do like dark romance as well. Um, I kind of am all over the place, but I have been sticking with like romance, in thrillers. So, I just wanted to mention I am a mood reader. So, one thing with my channel is that I will never have a TBR and I will probably never have a book haul. I mean, I know I have physical books in back of me, but my whole thing with books is I'm not buying a book. I'm going to listen to it on on Audible, or I'm going to read it on my Kindle. But if I like it, of course, I have to buy it. If I give it a 5 star, I have to buy it, and therefore, there are my trophies. But I never go and buy random books that I don't like or haven't read yet. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have some books that I have bought. I guess I can't really say that. I have books that I have not read yet, but I have really bad luck with picking books out that I haven't heard about before, because every single book that I have bought that I haven't heard anything about before, and I go and I'm like, oh, this is cool, blah, blah, blah. No, I end up not liking them, or I DNF them. I've done that at least. I learned my lesson, so I've done that with quite a few books. Maybe not quite a few books. I shouldn't say that. Maybe I've done that with maybe 5, 6 books, and after that I like kind of learned my lesson. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that anymore. So yeah, so I'll never have a TBR, and I'll probably never have a book haul. At least a book haul of going to the bookstore and just buying a bunch of books. I might have a book haul of, oh, I liked this book so I bought it type of thing, because that's kind of what I do. And then on top of it, then I also buy duplicates of books that I like the Ravenhood series. I love this book. I have this one. I have whatever these covers are. And then I have like the original covers, which I don't, they're over on the other side, but I'm just gonna set this to the side. But like, I'm really bad at that. If I like a book and I like the covers, I'll buy multiples of the same book. Some of my favorite books. Obviously, I have them in front of me because they're my favorite books. I rated them 5 stars. So I guess let's start with. Okay, I'll start with this. So this series, the Stay With Me series by Nicole Fiorina. This is probably one of my favorite. Well, she's one of my favorite writers. Actually, all these people, I guess, are my favorite writers, but absolutely love this series. Um, I think this is probably like my first book boyfriend, because I absolutely love the male character in this book. But yeah. So the Stay With Me series by Nicole Fiorina, great. I also have read her other one, Hello Heathens. I have not read Bone Island yet. I need to get to that. And no, I did not read. I bought it already, but I did not. I don't know. So also, and this is the Say I'm the One, and this book, I don't know what the series is actually called. All of Me series, maybe, by Siobhan Davis. I went through a whole thing with Siobhan Davis. I the All of Me, what I think that's what this is called, the series. I actually read these books. This was on like a list of books for me to read. I think I put it in my wish list in my Audible, not audio, Audible. And I always like bypassed it. And last August or early September, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to read this book. I think I was going through like a reading slump or something like that. So I actually read this and I ended up reading a lot of her backlog. So, like, I think I only have like a couple standalones of hers to read. And I think there's 2 series that I still need to read. But other than that, like, I totally enjoyed her writing, her storytelling. But yeah, so I'm a big fan of her. And then, of course, I said, let me get this book out. So, then there's Marnie Man. I love this series. This is When Ashes Fall. I don't know what this is called though. It's like I can't even see. Do I have my glasses on my head? No. I don't know what the series is called. I think it's called like it's Boston something. But anyway, um, absolutely love this series. There's 2 other books part of it, but one of my favorites as well. So as I said earlier in the video, I do like dark romance. One of my favorite tropes though is like mafia. Um, the very first mafia series that I ever read was Cora Riley's Born in Blood, or I think it's Born in Blood series. I think that's what it's called, and or yeah, Bound by Blood. No, I think it's Born in Blood. Anyway, very first series I ever mafia series I ever read, and I absolutely fell in love with that world. And just to let you know, I'm more of like a plot driven person, not a character driven person. So, like, don't get me wrong, I've read books where it was more character driven, but I find that, like, I end up not finishing them. I read that, what is that series by, God, I can't remember what the name of that book, that series, the Addicted series. There were like Becca and something Ricci, Becca and Kristen Ricci. I'm not sure. I read majority of that, but I kind of got bored. I just didn't feel like the characters were fun. They were good, but there was like no plot. No, I got bored with it, and I know like people love those books, but those books are not for me. But I did enjoy like the first. I think the first with the Lillian Lowe, but then like when I got into the second with the rest of the family, I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. But I actually agree that the writing was very well, and I do like the characters. Like I like the way they were developed and how they grew, and I did like that. But books that are character driven like that just really aren't for me. But yeah. So going back to the mafia thing, um, so I have Nicole Fanning right here with Catalyst. This series is, I think, The Hearts of Inferno. Yeah, The Hearts of the Inferno. I absolutely loved this. I took a chance on it, so this was like not really big when I started reading it. Um, and then I think it blew up on the social medias. I saw it all over the place all of a sudden. But yeah, that story, this mafia story was really good. And again, of course, the Born in Blood and the Camorra Chronicles by Cora Riley. That's like my favorite mafia series. Just the story and how they all intertwine and everything. Like the different mafia communities, societies, whatever. But it was so good. Um, and then also I said I was a fan of like dark romance, so I guess Trisha Wolfe is another author that I really love. I have read 2 of these, Lovely Bad Things, Lovely Violent Things. I have not read Lovely Wicked Things. So hopefully that comes out soon. Well, I mean, it's out, but I hope the audio comes out because I really want to listen to it. The audios on these were great. Then, let's see, J.T. Geisinger. This book was really good, and I have another book called Perfect Strangers that I really liked. Um, Great book. And then, of course, I've got Jennifer Hartman here with Still Beating. Absolutely love her as well. Let me see. I also have the Mindfuck series right here, and this is the Mystic Box Special Edition. I really do enjoy that. The Ravenhood series, of course. Um, I have Penelope Douglas up here, the Devil's Night series. I think it's called the Devil's Night series. And, Birthday Girl. I love Birthday Girl. Let me see what else I got up in here. I got That Sick Love, Hawk and Kid by Jessie Hall. Of course, I love Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. Yeah, I got some other books. I mean, I got Fourth Wing. I got some Colleen Hoover. I really do enjoy. I liked It Ends With Us and Verity. I think and Too Late. Those are the only 3 books I've ever read by Colleen Hoover. So I have a friend that's obsessed and loves Colleen Hoover, which I like Colleen Hoover. I just my reading changed a little bit. Um, but yeah. So another set of books that I like is the Cardinal Sin series by Heather Long and Blake Blessing. This is probably my favorite reverse harem series. But yeah, all these books, by the way, please check trigger warnings before you read them. If you've never read any of these and you want to read one, always check the trigger warnings. But yeah, I found this series was a suggested listen on my Audible, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just, see what happens. And I absolutely loved it. Loved it. It kind of gives me like the the female main character is like a strong female main character. So I absolutely loved it. And if you want to listen to it, like the narration's really good in it too. And then as for like other books, like right now I'm actually reading Haunting and Hunting Adeline. I just finished Haunting. I just started I'm like a third, I think, or fourth into Hunting Adeline. And it's been a minute since I've read it, so what happened was I was reading it took me a minute, but I finally read Shallow River right here. Absolutely loved this. Like, it was really, really good. I yeah. But that is what made me want to do the reread of Haunting and Hunting Adeline. Well, the first time I read those, I didn't read Satan's Affair. So this time around, I read Satan's Affair, and now I'm reading those. And then I also picked up Where's Molly? I'm very excited to read this. I love H.D. Carlton and how she writes and how her storytelling is. I like how there's multiple plot story things going on. But yeah. And then as for thrillers, I just read Never Lie by Frida McFadden, which I really did enjoy. I think I'm gonna buy it. I have actually never read, is it Housemaids? I hadn't read that yet, but I have a friend and we're gonna buddy read that one probably next week. I did read The Silent Patient by Alex Mc. I'm not pronouncing that last name. I'm not going to butcher it, but I also read The Maidens. He has a new one out called The Fury that I really want to read, so I'm very excited about that as well. Also, Serpent in the Wings of Night. I really do love this book. I am a vampire lover, so like if something's about vampires, I'm going to read it. But yeah, I read this one and I read the second one as well. What is it called? The Ashes of the Star-Crossed King or something. I don't remember what the name of the second one was, but absolutely love these. And I also read Fourth Wing. I think I need to reread Fourth Wing and Iron Flame though, because I think when I read Iron Flame, I don't think I was in the mood, and it still took me almost a month to read Iron Flame after it came out because I just wasn't in the mood for it, and I kind of forced myself to read it because I didn't want it to get spoiled for me like on social media, so I just decided to read it. And let me see what else. I think that's it. I mean, out of I've got Gothakana up there. I really like that book as well. But yeah, so this is kind of my style of reading and what I like. I hope you guys, if you like the same thing as me, please subscribe to my channel. And I guess until next time, I will see you soon. Thank you for listening and watching, and bye.